Welcome one, welcome all, welcome back to another video. It's your girl Letty here, and if you want this flawless makeup for prom or your wedding, stay tuned. We're just gonna hop right into the video. First, I'm starting off with the Laneige makeup serum. Absolutely love this stuff. And then I'm going right in with the OneSize Secure the Blur. And then I'm going to go in with a translucent powder over my brows just to mattify them so the eyebrow pencil can really stick. Now the trick to the primer is to actually go according to your skin type. I have normal dry skin, so pairing a glowy makeup base with a blurring one actually works better for me, and I like to use 2 to 3 different pencils on my skin or my eyebrows because I like the contrast that the Maybelline gives to the end of the brow as well as the Morphe gives to the beginning of the brow. And then I go in with the Juvia's Place brow pen, which is not found in stores. But I go in with that to create more hair-like strokes and to give it more of a realistic eyebrow. I love that my eyebrows are slowly starting to come back in, as you can see from the left one, but I have eyebrows now. So in order to carve them out, I do go in with my NARS Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Amande, which is like maybe 1 shade lighter than my skin tone, and then I blend that out. And then I actually am doing a new technique that I haven't done in years, actually, where I go on top of my brows, almost creating a halo effect, but don't worry, we're gonna go back over that with foundation. And then I prime my eyes with the same NARS Soft Matte Concealer, and I just blend that in, and then I'm gonna set that with some translucent powder. Now I'm using the OneSize that I used on my eyebrows. And to get the Instagram baddie look, I'm actually gonna go in with the Morphe Trendsetter color pencil and carve out basically a crease and then the ending of, well, the corner V, and blend that out with a darker eyeshadow as well as one that is a little bit lighter than the actual pencil. And to achieve that, I really do love the Dose of Colors Baked Browns palette. It's such a neutral tone and it's affordable, you know what I'm saying? And all you got to do is blend that out, and I basically am going to use that eyeshadow palette and my bronzer as eyeshadow. On days like prom and your wedding day, you really do want to keep it simple. I'm also going to go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Perversion and create like a wing a little bit, and then blend that out before setting it with a darker brown from the Baked Browns palette. And this is going to create like a soft wing and elongate your eyes. Now I know, who am I starting to do my eyes first instead of my base? But I found that this is the best. Now I kind of messed up here, I'm not gonna lie. I did go in with the MAC Paint Pot and Laying Low, but I honestly needed to go in with the lighter concealer in order to carve out my crease, which is what I normally do before setting it with the MAC single eyeshadow in soft brown, which is a perfect, well, it's actually, funny story, it's one of the first eyeshadows that I bought when I started to get more and more into makeup. And you just want to pat that on to the places where you put concealer. And then to add a little razzle dazzle, I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Moon Dust and then go in with my House of Lashes Iconics. But before I get into my base, I want to go in with my foundation and, you know, carve out my upper brow. But I love these lashes. I actually, those were the first lashes that I ever bought, was the House of Lashes lashes. And to get like the perfect wing, I like to go in and carve that out with my concealer that's closer to my skin tone, or you can carve that out with your foundation. But I do go in and color correct with a more orangey concealer, which is my Jouer, and then I go straight in. Now this is a new for me. I go straight in with my House of Lashes foundation, and you want to start at the center of your face and work your way out. because usually your center of your face needs the most coverage, and then you just fan it out, and the least covered portion of your face is usually your forehead. And then I'm going to go in with my bronzer, and then right after that gonna go in with my blush, my liquid blush. And after I blend all of that out, I'm actually going to go in with my concealer, and not go straight in with the doe foot, but go in with a brush and then blend it out with another brush. This is how we're going to get the most coverage and the most flawlessness of everything. So I'm not going to wait on my eyeshadow to dry down, because I like the thickness that it gives if it's not dried all the way down. But I am going to go in the center of my face with a brush, carve that out with the concealer, and then go blend that out again with that same brush that I use up under my eyes. It just looks so much more flawless. I don't know how to explain it, but I like doing this new technique, and I know it's not my one layer foundation routine, but it is flawless and your makeup does stay. Before I set my under eyes, I am going to go in and use that same bronzer on my nose to create a contour. And I like to start at the top of my brow and then go down the sides of my nose, and then go over my entire face with my beauty sponge in order to mesh everything together, and this creates flawless. Now, in order to set your under eyes, I like to go in with a pressed powder, but make sure you get all of the creases out first, and then use a pressed powder with a brush actually, and then set the rest of your face with whatever you want. I use the loose powder here, but I honestly love the fact that I can use a pressed powder. But then on top of my blush, I do go in with another blush, and then I go in and do my contour. Now I go back in and bake for a little bit, maybe like a minute, with a loose setting powder. Now this loose setting powder only goes on the places where I put the concealer in order to brighten but also set even more so it doesn't budge. And then I'm going to use my Juvia's Place bronzer to contour my nose. I like to use a lighter bronzer to set that bronzer on my nose, or that contour on my nose, and then I wipe everything away kind of very lightly. And I also use my MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Deep Dark to set everything really in place and get any excess loose powder off of my face. Setting everything down, I'm using an oldie but goodie with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, and then I'm gonna use my big fan that I got from a Senegalese lady at a vendor market. I'm gonna go in with this beautiful melt highlighter that I found at TJ Maxx for like $10. Normally that bad boy is like $39, but I found it at TJ Maxx for the low, and I just absolutely love it. And I'm also going to use that lighter shade in the Baked Browns palette to highlight my brow bone, and my highlighter to brighten up the inner corner. So after I put my lashes on, or after I spray my face, I like to go in with mascara because I feel like it doesn't run anywhere if you do it that way. Lips, we're using the Morphe Trendsetter Dose of Colors Cork and a lip gloss by Juvia's Place, and then we're going to set everything with the OneSize. This is the final look. I hope you all enjoy. This is the best makeup look for your wedding or your prom, something quick and easy but yet still flawless and will stay all day. Please don't forget to leave a like and a comment, and with that being said, it's your girl Letty, and I'm out.